You meet someone new and it feels electric. They say all the right things, send good morning texts, maybe even promise you the kind of romance you've been dreaming about. At first you're convinced, this could be it, maybe this is true love. But then the cracks appear, their cute quirks start feeling heavy, the butterflies fade into anxiety, and the person who once made you feel special now leaves you questioning your worth. Here's the tough truth. Not everyone is capable of giving you true love. Some people never learned how to love beyond themselves. Others hide behind charm, promises, or passion, while underneath they're carrying patterns that will slowly drain you. And yet, so many of us stay hoping that love will be enough to change them. But love, no matter how strong, can't turn the wrong person into the right one. If you're always exhausted, doubting yourself, or bending into shapes you don't recognize just to keep the relationship alive, chances are you're with someone who will never give you the love you deserve. So today, we're pulling back the curtain. Let's talk about the 8 types of people who will never give you true love, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give. Recognizing them might just save you years of heartache and open the door to the kind of love that truly lasts. At first, it feels flattering when someone wants to know everything about you, where you are, who you're with, when you'll be home. They say things like, I just worry about you, or I care too much. But soon, those check-ins turn into interrogations. Suddenly, you're explaining why you didn't reply fast enough, or defending why you spent time with a friend. What seemed like protection quickly feels like surveillance. Control freaks mistake ownership for love. They'll tell you how to dress, who to see, even what dreams you should chase. The more you comply, the tighter the grip becomes. And here's the cruel irony. The more you give in to keep the peace, the less peace you actually have. True love never cages you, it frees you. If your relationship feels like walking on eggshells, constantly reporting your every move, you're not being cared for, you're being controlled. And no matter what they claim, that's not love. That's fear wearing the mask of devotion. They lie about little things, where they were, who they talked to, why they didn't call back. At first you brush it off, it's just a small lie, no big deal. But lies don't stay small. They pile up until you can't tell what's real and what's fiction. And when the foundation of trust cracks, the entire relationship starts to wobble. Chronic liars often dress up their dishonesty as protection. I didn't tell you because I didn't want to upset you. But the truth is, they lie because it's easier for them, not better for you. And no matter how much love you pour in, you'll never feel secure when you're constantly second-guessing their word. True love is built on honesty, even when the truth is uncomfortable. Without it, you're not building a relationship. You're playing detective in someone else's cover story. If you're always chasing the truth instead of living it, you're not in real love. You're trapped in a web that only gets tighter the longer you stay. I love the thrill of the chase, the late night talks, the butterflies, the rush of something new. But the moment the relationship requires stability or long-term effort, they pull back. Words like exclusive, future, or forever make them sweat more than a workout. Instead, they keep things vague. Let's just see where this goes. Commitment phobes thrive in the short term because it's exciting and safe. They get the benefits of closeness without the responsibilities of real love. But here's the painful truth. You can't build a life with someone who runs every time the relationship needs roots. No matter how patient you are, no matter how much you reassure them, they'll always find a reason to keep one foot out the door. True love isn't afraid of commitment, it welcomes it because it knows building something lasting takes courage. If you're always stuck in the endless loop of almost but not quite, you're not moving toward true love. You're standing still with someone who will never fully choose you. At the beginning, their confidence can feel magnetic. They know what they want, they take up space, and they make everything sound exciting. But soon, you notice a pattern. Every conversation circles back to them. Their problems are bigger, their achievements matter more, and your needs always come second if they're acknowledged at all. Being with a self-centered partner feels like being in a one-person show where you're just the audience. You cheer for them, support their dreams, pick them up when they fall, but when it's your turn to need care, the spotlight never shifts. Over time, that imbalance leaves you invisible and exhausted. The truth is, love can't thrive in a one-way street. True love means reciprocity, celebrating each other's wins, holding each other in hard times, and sharing the emotional load. If the relationship is always about feeding their ego while starving your own needs, you're not in real love. You're in a performance designed for one. They don't shout, they don't slam doors. Instead, they twist your emotions until you question your own reality. When you bring up a concern, they say, "You're too sensitive." When you set a boundary, they sigh, "If you really loved me, you'd do this for me." And when you finally stand your ground, they punish you with silence, making you feel guilty just for having needs. Emotional manipulators are masters at turning love into leverage. Every disagreement becomes your fault. Every compromise tilts in their favor. You start to believe that keeping the relationship alive depends on you bending, apologizing, and sacrificing even when you've done nothing wrong. But true love never weaponizes your heart against you. It doesn't use guilt, fear, or shame as tools to control. Real love listens, respects, and works through conflict without making you feel small. If being with someone feels like walking through a maze of emotional traps, it's not devotion you're experiencing, it's manipulation disguised as love. At first, their vulnerability draws you in. They have stories of heartbreak, betrayal, and people who never treated them right. You feel compassion, even a desire to heal them. But soon, every situation, no matter how small, turns into another chapter of their victim narrative. The boss was unfair, the friend was disloyal, and now you too are somehow the one who hurts them. The perpetual victim thrives on pity, not partnership. Instead of taking responsibility, they shift the blame and make you carry the emotional weight of the relationship. You become the caretaker, the fixer, the one constantly reassuring them while your own needs fade into the background. The truth is, real love requires accountability. Without it, growth is impossible. If someone always sees themselves as the victim, there's no room for equality, trust, or mutual effort. True love doesn't ask you to parent your partner or rescue them endlessly. If you're always cast as the villain in their story, then you're not in love, you're trapped in their cycle of self-pity. At first, their jealousy might feel flattering. They say things like, "I just can't stand the thought of losing you," or "I love you too much to share you." But what begins as passion quickly morphs into possession. They get angry when you spend time with friends, demand to know who's texting you, or sulk whenever you pursue something without them. The jealous possessor mistakes control for care. They believe love means ownership and that your independence is a threat. Over time, you start shrinking your world to avoid conflict, fewer nights out, fewer hobbies, fewer connections. What looks like closeness is actually confinement. But true love doesn't clip your wings. It lets you fly while knowing you'll always return. Real love is secure, not suffocating. If someone's affection leaves you anxious, guilty, or isolated, that's not love, it's fear in disguise. And no matter how intensely they claim to love you, possession can never replace the freedom, trust, and respect that true love requires. They're full of grand words and glittering plans. "I'll change, I'll be better, I'll give you everything you deserve." For a moment, hope lights up your heart. But then weeks pass, months pass, and nothing really shifts. The apologies repeat, the promises stack higher, and you're left waiting for a future that never arrives. The empty promiser thrives on your patience. They count on your willingness to forgive, to keep believing in their potential. But potential isn't a relationship. True love is proven in consistent actions, not in speeches rehearsed whenever you're about to walk away. Every broken promise chips away at trust, and without trust, there is no foundation strong enough to hold real love. If you constantly find yourself clinging to someday, you're not living in love, you're living in delay. True love doesn't keep you waiting for a version of someone that may never exist. It shows up every day in choices that match their words. So here's the bottom line. True love will never come from control, lies, fear, or empty promises. If you're with someone who fits one of these 8 types, no amount of patience, sacrifice, or devotion can transform them into the partner you deserve. Real love doesn't drain you, confuse you, or make you feel small. It lifts you, strengthens you, and allows you to be fully yourself. If you've recognized yourself in these descriptions, don't beat yourself up. So many of us have loved the wrong people, hoping they'd change, believing our love could be enough. But learning to spot these patterns is powerful. It's the first step toward breaking cycles and choosing something healthier. You don't need to fix them, prove yourself, or wait forever. You need to believe that you're worthy of real love, the kind that is mutual, honest, and freeing. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever dated one of these types? Which one hit the closest to home? And most importantly, what did you learn from that experience? Share your story in the comments, because your words might be exactly what someone else needs to hear tonight. And if this video gave you clarity, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next conversation about love. Because in the end, true love doesn't trap you, it sets you free.